This podcast is brought to you in part by PNP Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at one of their 3 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Alrighty, everybody, and welcome to the Nintendo Pulse podcast, episode number 75. I was reading something. I should never read when I talk. I should close my eyes whenever I talk, Steven, because I tend to say what I'm reading, and that is just not something that should ever happen.
Let's touch the pulse of Nintendo gaming.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what you were gonna say.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that'll be exactly what I meant. Oh, as always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me, Stephen Mutt. Stephen, how are you? Let's get back to that.
I'm good. I'm ready to touch the pulse of Nintendo gaming.
That is good. I'm ready to touch Nintendo gaming as well. That's what I'm gonna do.
In a very delicate way.
Yes.
Let us touch Nintendo gaming.
Because it is very fragile right now. I don't want to break anything.
It's
like a Ming vase. You don't want to be too rough with Nintendo gaming.
Right. You want to use the proper stylus on your touchscreen.
Yes. Not an X-Acto knife. That is not a good idea. That will damage things.
Right. Or a crayon.
No.
Crayon's also a bad idea.
They work for a little bit, and then you just can't see anything after a while.
Yeah.
Same with markers. That is not something you want to do either.
And the tattoo things, tattoo guns, those are a bad idea to use on a touchscreen as well.
Yes, those would be terrible for your touchscreen. They'd be terrible for almost anything, actually.
Yes.
Anything that's not flesh.
Except if you're getting your morph ball tattoo, that's different. But
I didn't even see. Sorry, I was looking up to turn off a monitor. I didn't see you have a morph ball tattoo on your shoulder?
I do. It'll show up on the feed in about 14 seconds.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't see it. I'll have to watch it after it's been posted. That is wicked. That is wicked. So, Steven, how the heck are you, man?
Good, thanks.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
What, a week?
Yeah, it's exactly a week.
So
do you know what else has been a while?
What?
The Olympics went on for a while. And I
Yeah.
watched a lot of Olympics. I like the Olympics. I like
Thousands of years now, hasn't it?
Yes, but they went on for 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
In recent memory, I'm not talking about like historic times. I'm talking about in the recent times. The Olympics went on for about 2.5 weeks. Mm-hmm. During those 2.5 weeks, we got no Jets hockey. And do you know when the first Jets game is?
I don't know.
After the Olympics. Yeah. No
After
guess.
the Olympics.
No
Okay.
guess. No guess.
After the Olympics, isn't that the answer?
Right now, it's actually happening right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're doing a podcast, so you can't watch it.
Exactly. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I love you guys so damn much that I'm giving up on half of a hockey game to come here and talk to you, Steven. Your sexy, evil Steven goatee just keeps drawing me back in.
I can't help it. I just we probably shouldn't tell my girlfriend.
No, don't.
No, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her that jealousy might make me more attractive to her.
That could be.
I've read that in my player book.
Is that Barney Stinson's the bro guide from How I Met Your Mother? Yeah, that would be good.
Yes, that's what it is. I haven't watched that show, but I'm familiar with the memes with him in them, and I enjoy those.
Nice.
Like when I'm feeling sad, I stop being sad and start being awesome instead. True story. I like that.
Jay Carguth is saying you would think that hockey meant something to me. Oh, it does. I've been jonesing for some Jets hockey, and we just scored. We're ahead 2-1 against the Phoenix Coyotes here in town. If you know anything about the Jets, the Phoenix are what the first iteration of the Jets became after they left Winnipeg. So this is like an even more symbolic game, and I can't watch it, but that's okay because I love you guys too damn much. So I'm here to do a show. So what do you say we do the show?
Sure, why not? And we'll do it as quickly as we can so that you can catch the very end of your little game.
The funny thing is after we do this show, I'm doing another show. We're doing something new here on the network. It used to be called our Let's Play or Hearthstone Adventures is what we did the first time. We're actually calling it The Grid, as in the game grid from Tron, to go with Derez. And we're doing a Let's Play on the PS3 version of Minecraft. And Will, my partner for the Derez podcast, he's never played Minecraft before. So I had him go out and buy the PlayStation 3 version. And I'm going to teach him how to die repeatedly from all the various things, mostly creepers. I hope he gets offed a few times by creepers. This is going to be awesome. I cannot wait. And I'm going to be doing that right after this one. We'll be streaming it live and posting it on YouTube and the website after. So if you're interested in seeing someone get repeatedly manhandled by zombies, skeletons, and creepers, and lava, I'm going to try to dig all the way down and get him into to play in some lava. It should be fun, and that is our first game that we're streaming here on The Grid, and it's going to be Minecraft. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Cool. I should see if I can. You guys send me a link to that later, so that once it's on YouTube, so that I can have my daughter watch it tomorrow. She loves Minecraft.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and just like everything else here on the network, we're going to keep it family friendly, so little kids can watch it and laugh at the idiocy of someone that's never played Minecraft before. And the thing about the PlayStation 3 version is all the recipes are filled in for you. You don't have to figure out how to make things, so that takes away some of the fun. But it's still going to be a good time, and I cannot wait. So right after this one, if you're watching the stream, everybody that's popped into the stream, welcome everybody. If not, it'll be up on vgpodcast.com. All right, enough of that stuff. Let's get into the show. Steven, what have you been playing?
Well, last week, as most people seem to know, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze came out for Wii U. So I bought that, and I played it,
What do you think?
and I got stuck.
Did you get stuck on the second or third level?
The third world,
third world.
3-2,
Yeah.
is where I am stuck. I have, 35 lives or something like that? I had 20 by the time I reached the end of the first world. Hands out lives like they're candy, and it's a good thing because the game is damn hard.
It is.
Yeah, I'm at 3-2, and I'm using game mode on my television, on my plasma set for the first time ever.
Nice.
Because the
need
timing
that.
on the jumps has to be that precise. So the picture looks like hell compared to what it was. I'm running it in 720p instead of 1080i in hopes that maybe that would be a little quicker, but it doesn't seem to be helping me anyway. I'm still bad at games.
Yeah, the P's will make a difference for sure. You'll get a little bit smoother frame rate when you're progressive.
Okay.
Not interlaced.
All right. So, yeah. So no matter what I do, though, I'm still not good at it. So I'm thinking that, the lesson that I keep failing to learn every time I buy a 2D Mario game like New Super Mario Brothers U, the lesson that I should have been learning is that I'm too old for those games now. I'm not quick enough. But apparently I didn't learn that for this either. And now I've bought 3 Donkey Kong Country games, and I can't beat any of them. They're just too hard for me. So that's the end of that. I want to keep playing it because it looks and sounds amazing, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But I so far I have not been able to progress past World 3-2 because the jumps are just too tricky.
I picked that up as well on release day, and I was super excited. I wanted to play it on the weekend with my kids, and so I did. And it's not a game for my kids. Like, I saw my son die in the same part of one level. I think it was 1-3 or whatever. There was this gap that he had to cross, and he died like 10 times in a row trying to make it past. So I had to take the controller away and get past that area. And then I'd get a little bit further, and he would jump in and do a little bit more, and then he would die repeatedly, and then we'd run out of lives. And it's like, wow, okay, I picked up this game to play with my family. I don't think this is a game that I can play with my kids. Like, it's way too hard. And I get the need for a difficult game. Like, people want that. But in the first world, for it to be something where like they can't, and they're not terrible at video games. I started playing the level, and it took me like 3 tries to get past where he was stuck. So it's not like he was just playing it really badly. It's just, the game is really difficult, and I hear it just gets worse as you get further on. So I'm thinking, well, I could play this myself, and I could beat it, and I could have fun with it. But I really picked this up for another family game because we've kind of wound down a little bit on the Skylanders, a little bit on the Disney Infinity, where they're not so stoked about that so much anymore. They're taking a break, and it's so difficult. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I it's one of those games where I have to be in the mood to play it. And what I mean is I'll pick up the game, I'll start playing it, and I'll die. And if I want to murder somebody when that happens, I know I'm not in the mood to play the game and I should put it away and play something else right away.
Before you throw heavy things through breakable objects.
Exactly. Before I harm somebody like myself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, maybe it's because I'm geez, I don't even know how old I am now. Maybe it's because I'm 38 years old now.
Right. I mean, it could be that, but it's also like this is the hardest Donkey Kong Country because I've played all the other ones recently, and they're not difficult. This one is just really like it has the difficulty turned way up. Prometheus in chat room says Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii was also very difficult. It was tough, but I made it through that game the whole way. I played a lot of it on the 3DS, and there's times when you'll die like 3 or 4 times trying to get through a level. But I mean, that's good. That's better than Mario, where you can get through most of the levels without dying once. Having a little bit of danger is a good thing, but this one is just overly crazily difficult. So I think like I brought my Wii U up to the living room area, so it's on the living room television, so that my kids could play more often. But I think it might be too hard for them. So I don't know. I guess that means I'll bring the Wii U back down here and I'll play it myself and beat it and be happy that my $60 purchase isn't being wasted. But yeah, the game is not exactly what I was hoping for, which is a little bit of a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not that it's a bad game. It's just it's definitely not a game for kids.
No, exactly. And I'm not complaining. I don't mind hard games, so I'll play it and I'll beat it. But I was hoping that this would be the next big game. Like we played Super Mario 3D World, and we played that for a couple weeks and beat all the levels. And now the kids really don't want to play that too much more because they've seen all the levels. I was like, okay, well, another platformer. This is going to be awesome. No, it's too much for them. So I mean, maybe they can watch me play it, but I don't know how much fun that's going to be for them, really, at the end of the day. So, yeah, a little bit shocked for such a popular Nintendo franchise to have gone so much the other way without having like an extra hard mode or something, that this is just the default difficulty for this game. It's really difficult.
Yep. Yeah. So outside of that, just, still doing the Wii Fit U. Keeping up on that, having the little pedometer to keep around with me every day is making a big difference in terms of my participation in the game compared to Wii Fit.
Yeah.
On the Wii, having it clipped to my belt is like a constant reminder, because I can kind of feel it there, and then when I'm getting changed and stuff like that, it's right there in my hand, and it reminds me to go and sync it up. So even if I don't have the time to do the Wii Fit U exercises, I can sync up my little device. And
does it ever pop off like your belt or whatever?
No, it hasn't yet.
See, that's the reason why I stopped wearing it. I was worried about that. And then I was like, well, I'll keep it in my pocket, but that's where I keep my cell phone. And it's like, okay, that's going to get all scratched up, and then my phone's going to get all scratched up. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to do. But yeah,
I haven't been wearing it as much the past couple of days because this is the beginning of a really extremely busy season at my job, and I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting, and I bump into things a lot. So I'm worried that I would bump this face into something hard and crack it.
Yeah.
So I'm not wearing it as much this week as I was, but
I was tempted to clip it to my watch band, but then I thought that would look even worse than just me walking around in a Pebble all day. Now I'm a Pebble with a Nintendo thing hooked to the other side. And
that only makes it better, Lloyd.
Better? Okay.
Yes.
And then I was going to
like, oh, he's got a Pebble. That's pretty nerdy. What's that on the other side? Oh my God.
I was going to break out my old Transformer digital watch and put that on the other arm as well. And it'd be great. It would be a good look for me.
You get a Casio watch from the 1980s.
Yeah. Nice calculator watch.
That goes beep every hour.
That would be great. I'll do that. But yeah, I have one as well, and I've used it twice, like 2 days in a row, and then I haven't put it back on because I was like, oh, I'm gonna lose it, and then I just forgot to find another way to do it. I should fix that because I did spend $20 on it. I might as well get my $20 worth of use out of it.
Sure. The other thing is Bravely Default. I think I am near the end of chapter 4. I know there are at least 6 chapters in the game, but I'm at the end of chapter 4, and I'm grinding before stepping into the Pillar of Light because I know there is a huge boss battle right there. And I've been warned that once I go in there, there is no turning back. So I'm trying to do everything else in the world before I go in there. So that's where I am.
Interesting. I've almost started that game. I'm down to, I think, the last boss in the demo, so I'm almost there. Okay. I'm getting there slowly, man. The one thing I really wish about the 3DS, and I would actually play the game more on the 3DS if you could actually like pause a game and then go into Find Me and do all your Street Pass stuff and then go back into the game. Because with the demos having such limited plays, it's like, well, I don't want to keep quitting to find all my Street Passes. I want to keep playing. And then it's like, well, okay, I know it's been 2 days and I've passed at least 10 people. I'm going to close the demo and then do my Street Passes. And then I end up not going back to the demo for a couple days because of that. That's one feature that I think Nintendo really needs to do, even if it involves you having to have an SD card or something, like some sort of like
write that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I thought about that a lot too.
If they could force that as an option, that would be so amazing because that would get rid of all my problems with playing games and doing the Street Pass stuff as well. Cool. Yep.
And I think that's it for this week. I can't think of anything else that I've been playing.
Awesome. Well, for me, I've been playing, as I said, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze a little bit, not as much because I had really hoped it would be a family game. Turns out it's going to be a game for me. So I got a couple other games that are ahead of it in its queue. One of them being Bravely Default. I'll probably play a lot of Bravely Default before I get into this one too much on my own, which is really unfortunate. But I guess you can't always get what you want, as they say. And I've been playing a fair bit of Weapon Shop Deo Masse. The quirkiness is kind of worn off a little bit. There's a lot of stuff like when you're between making weapons and you send one of your people out to do their quest, you go into like this little kind of chat room and you can see all the stuff that's happening. And at first it's like, oh, he made a joke about like killing things and then them coming back to life. Oh yeah, that happens in games all the time. And it's like, oh, the skeleton's bones fell apart. Yeah, that's funny. And like all these like kind of inside jokey kind of things if you've played a lot of Japanese RPGs. But after you've done that a lot, it gets boring. It's like, oh yeah, okay, just come back, give me my sword so I can polish it back up and level it up and then send it out with someone else to do that stuff. But I'm still enjoying it. It's a fun, quirky little title. I'm glad I have it. It's not one of those games that I think I'm gonna play in its entirety, like get every single playable second out of it. But I'm really kind of glad to have it on my 3DS to pop into from time to time. It is a fun little game and definitely worth the $8 that I paid for it.
Okay, well, that's good to know. I appreciate the update on that one weekend. It's still worth owning and playing.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's a lot of fun. It just at first it was just like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, this is so good. And then some of the humor just kind of gets old. It's like, okay, well, it's still fun. I'm not laughing every 5 seconds like I was before. I don't have a goofy grin on my face, but it's still fun. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Weapon Shop Deo Masse. But yeah, it's pretty fun for $8. Can't go wrong on the 3DS eShop.
Cool.
But that's about it. But we did get a question in. Someone shot us an email and wanted us to answer some questions. So we will do so here on the podcast. If you guys want to get in contact with us, you could do it through vgpodcast@gmail.com. That's our actual voice or email. Our voicemail line is 505 VG if you want to submit a voice question that we can record and play in a future episode. You can do that as well. Or just head on over to vgpodcast.com and click contact us, and you can fill out a little contact form and send in your question this or that way. But for this one, Tom emailed us and he says, "Hey guys, so after seeing the newest Mario Kart 8 trailer from February's Nintendo Direct, I got the itch to play some Mario Kart Wii. I booted it up, and as I took a really high jump on Rainbow Road to grab an item box, I got the same feeling I get when trying to grab a green star on Super Mario 3D World. Wouldn't it be cool, or wouldn't it be a cool addition to the Mario Kart Grand Prix mode to add hidden green stars around the courses? It would encourage the players to explore the level and find shortcuts and other Easter eggs. I was wondering what kind of things you may be hoping for from Mario Kart 8. Similar to my green star idea, are there mechanics or ideas from other franchises that you think would work well in Mario Kart? I realize they'll probably stick pretty close to the formula, but it's fun to think about. Thanks for all the time you guys put into the podcast. Tom from Rochester, New York." So Steven, Mario Kart 8, are you a big fan of Mario Kart?
I am. I'm a fan of most of the Mario Kart games. I really liked Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart DS. In fact, I think I liked all of the Mario Kart games except for Mario Kart 64. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. That's interesting. So is there anything missing from the last couple iterations of Mario Kart that you'd love to see added in, or something new that has never been done before?
I liked the battle mode in Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
Yep.
I'd like them to have some larger arena tracks and a good variety of them, where people can do battle stuff. And it also would be nice to be able to do battle stuff on some of the Grand Prix tracks. Some or all of the Grand Prix tracks that are available in the game as well. Maybe some of them wouldn't be super conducive to that, but I don't know. I think that it would be cool to be able to drive in a more free-form, open-world kind of a way and do the battle stuff where you're actually just trying to knock each other out.
Sure.
And that's something that it just seems like a no-brainer to me in terms of the design of the Mario Kart games, but Nintendo has, in most cases, has really kind of like undershot the goal on a lot of the Mario Kart games. It's what made Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart DS so great was that they didn't do that with those. They really brought their A game.
Sure.
They hadn't really done that in a while, I think. But I'm very excited about Mario Kart 8. I played it on the demo at the E3 thing. Foreman saying 16 new tracks, 16 dumb old tracks. When they started doing the retro tracks, that was like my favorite feature when they added that. I think it was Mario Kart DS, where they added that. Mario Kart Wii is terrible also.
But you could use the Wiimote like a steering wheel. Come on.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
I agree
thankfully, they gave you other control options in that game, but it did not save it. It was still ugly, uninspired, bland, boring trash. But luckily, Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart 7 were both great. So I'm excited about 8. 8 was great on the demo, but I love the old tracks. I love the retro tracks. When they started doing that, I was so excited about it. 16 tracks and then 16 retro tracks, 32 tracks doesn't sound like it's that many tracks, but I actually think that's okay.
And then you double them because there's always the reverse mode that you can.
The mirror mode. Yeah. I don't think that's bad.
No, I like that. I personally am the same as you. I love the retro tracks. I loved like the first time that you're playing the DS version, and it's like, holy crap, this is the track from Mario Kart Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo. This is the best thing ever. It got a little old in the tooth, or long in the tooth a little bit as it went on, but it's still a lot of fun. I mean, I like retro stuff.
They did a great job of selecting the old tracks that were still fun to drive on. Yeah. And not giving you too many of them. So like when you do a retro cup, you get one from the Super NES one from the GBA one from the N64, maybe, and one from the Wii in Mario Kart 7. And that was great. I mean, there were only maybe 2 tracks in Mario Kart Wii that were any good. And being able to play those again, like Coconut Mall was my favorite track on Mario Kart Wii, easily. Because most everything else was garbage.
Sure.
But Coconut Mall is great. The music is great. Every time it comes on, my daughter sings along with it. She loves that music and she loves the track. So, but yeah, I mean, being able to get little bits and pieces here and there of what was really good about those old games and bring it back, I think it's good.
Right.
I think it's good stuff. And as it goes on, as the series goes on, you have more of those old tracks to pull from each game. So like, Mario Kart 8 now, you would expect would have some tracks from Mario Kart 7. And there are some really, really, really good tracks in Mario Kart 7.
Yeah.
I can't think of any tracks in Mario Kart 7 that I don't think are good.
No, I mean, it was a pretty solid release for sure.
Yeah.
From top to bottom. For me, going from the chat room, a lot of people are asking for things. Prometheus says he wants less rubber banding, which would be awesome. Unfortunately, it's not gonna go. A lot of people are saying that they love the tracks. Ken and Shane and Adam Raffel were talking about Diddy Kong adding more open world kind of stuff into the I guess the different levels and how you can race them. I'm thinking kind of with the different ways you can traverse the levels, maybe they're adding a little bit of that in, but still controlling it. So it's going to be less open than say like Sonic Racing Transformed, but a little more varied than some of the other Mario Karts, which would be a good thing. For me, just like you, Steven, more battle mode, battle arenas and modes would be the best. I can remember for Super Nintendo and N64, Mario Kart 64, I probably played 400 hours on each of those games of battle mode with my friends. That is the single biggest time waste that I had when we were going out, growing up and going over to buddies' houses and having like game times. I would love to have like say 30, 40 different arenas, small arenas, big arenas, medium-sized arenas, just different types for different game modes. And even the ability to slowly like kind of like use kind of like, I don't know, virtual Lego and kind of snap different pieces together to make your own style of battle arenas. That would be, for me, I would pay $60 for just that game. The whole Grand Prix mode can just be its own thing. I don't care. But just having battle mode as its own thing and have it super customizable would be the one that I would buy and play and play and play and play. My kids love that. They love that in Skylanders. They love that in Disney Infinity. The doing like either collaborating or combating each other in the different levels. So battle mode would be the best thing for me. That would be my one killer thing. I would also love, as Tom sent in his email, having hidden items in each level, like very hard to find, kind of, oh, you're so good that you came in first and found this special thing. That would be kind of a neat thing to add. It would bring me back to, as some people in the chat room were saying, kind of like Diddy Kong, where you find a secret path through a hill somewhere, and then there's a star or something for you to pick up, or a balloon, or whatever those pickups were. It's been so long since I played that game. That would be a lot of fun as well. But for me, it's got to be battle mode, man. There has to be like 1,000 levels, 10,000 levels. You give me as many levels as you want, Nintendo, and I will play each and every one multiple times. I'm just such a fan of the battle mode, and then different battle mode, kind of, I don't know, like game types. So not just the chase people down and pop their 3 balloons. Maybe do some cooperative. Maybe have like battle mode boss battles or something where it's multiple people against a really hard to play against boss. Like things like that would be awesome for me, because I know I would spend the most time of playing Mario Kart playing that particular mission mode.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's a cool idea.
That's kind of what I want. So yeah, Tom, thanks for sending that in. That was awesome. If you guys would like to send in your own questions for us to answer, vgpodcast@gmail.com is the best way to get a hold of us, or send in a voicemail, 505 VG Podcasts. Anything to leave us off with before we get into the meat of the show, Steven?
Foreman was asking, when did they introduce the custom kart builder? Was it Mario Kart 7? And I think it was 7, wasn't it?
I think it was, because you could slap together the different like glider things, whether you want like the Mario red triangle glider thing, or if you want Peach's like parasol looking thing, and yeah, you could choose the different ones, the different wheels and stuff. Although I think you could choose the different tires on the Wii, which would give you different speed boosts. I don't know. I can't remember.
I thought the Wii one had whole carts. Like you would pick a whole cart, but you couldn't pick the individual parts, just like on the DS.
Yeah, I think that's the way it was. And then on Mario Kart 7, you could kind of customize your cart the way you really wanted it to look.
I'm pretty sure that's how it was. I'd have to go back and run Mario Kart DS to see it. I have all of those. So
as Foreman says in the chat room, the kart series grows at a glacial pace, and that is pretty
true.
darn true.
It's true. 7 and 8 appear to be adding a lot more.
Hmm.
I mean, 7 we already know. 7 adds a lot more to the series compared to DS than I think we've seen get added to the game ever.
Yeah.
Unless you count the addition of actual 3D when they went from Super Mario Kart to Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
I don't really consider that. That's kind of more.
So,
but
before we get into that, into the
Mhm.
rest of the show, what do you think the price point for Mario Kart 8 is going to be?
I'm pretty sure it's already showing up as 60, but that may be an assumption.
Yeah.
I have it pre-ordered at 59.
Yeah, because it's showing up here in some stores at $69, $69.99, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, or Super Mario 3D World was $54.99, I think. Was it 55?
I thought it was 64.99.
Or was it 65?
in Canada?
Maybe it was 65. I'd have to double check that. So it seems like these games are kind of going up a little bit in price. Which
Yeah, it was
is kind of
59
interesting.
here. Super Mario 3D World was 59.99 here, and I thought I saw it for 64.99 in Canada.
Okay.
That was thinking. Yeah, probably 80 in Australian dollars. Yeah.
I'm just going to check EB Games up here to see what Mario Kart is listed on their site, because I know Future Shop has it for like 70. Yeah, EB has it for 65, which is probably what it's going to come out at up here. It'll be $5 cheaper over there because
Yeah, they can charge 60 for that. People will pay that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I will.
Definitely.
I mean, having actually played the game in an early state, I know that.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, let's get into the meat of the show. Let's get into notable releases. What's come out this week, Steven?
I have I've only put 2 games down here. There's Renegade, the NES game Renegade. They released it for the Wii U and 3DS Virtual Console. Looks like they're on a roll releasing them for both virtual consoles at the same time. Still no cross-platform buy, but whatever. I guess we got cross-platform money at least. And Professor Layton, Azran Legacy is out for 3DS as well. Those are the 2 notable releases that I have down for this week. I'm not aware of any others.
Nope, I don't believe there were. Awesome, cool. Are you going to be picking up Professor Layton at all? Or are you kind of done?
No, I'm not a Layton fan.
No.
It's not it's not that I dislike the games, but I don't have any interest.
Cool. Yeah, same here. Awesome. Well, let's get into the meat of the show, into the news. Our first big news item, Nintendo is killing its online service for Wii and DS games. So if you have a Wii game or a DS game, such as Mario Kart DS or
Mario Kart
Wii, or
Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Brawl is a big one, or the Animal Crossing game.
Animal Crossing Wild World for DS.
Yeah, that's right.
Animal Crossing City Folk for Wii.
City Folk is the one I was thinking of. But yeah, I forgot the Wild World you could do. All those games are going to not be playable online anymore after May 20th, which is when Nintendo will be turning off the big switch that powers all of these games.
Yes.
Not surprising, but still it seems a little bit soon for me for a lot of these games, because they're still selling these games. You go to stores, and a lot of these big Nintendo titles you could still buy new, and they're still full price because they still sell. It's kind of surprising to me that people would go to the store, they'd buy a copy of Mario Kart for their DS, they'd pop it in, and then they can't do any of the online stuff because it's just not functioning at all.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe start printing boxes without the little Nintendo Wi-Fi connection.
I guess so. That would be definitely one way to go about it. But yeah, kind of bizarre. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, how many people play online with the Wii? Like, if you buy one of the new Wiis, can you even play online? I don't think you can. Can you even buy stuff off the store? I don't even know. That thing is so limited.
Yes, as long as you don't get the Wii Mini.
That's what I mean. Like the new Wii Mini, can you even do online stuff? Like, does it have a network connection in it at all?
No, it has no online functionality.
Well, one of my coworkers bought one recently, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean the video looks terrible. I'm gonna go get the component cables." And I'm like, "Yeah, that'll make it look better for sure." And then he comes back the next day, he's like, "Component cables don't work with this thing." I'm like, "What?" They
Yep.
took out the functionality for component cables.
They did.
He's like, yep. So I'm gonna need a new TV if I want it to look decent. I'm like, wow, that is kind of crappy. So
Wow.
yeah, they do some weird things. Nintendo does, but this one isn't super surprising. But it is still kind of sad. Some things that are still going to be working after May 20th are the Internet Channel, the DS browser, the DSi browser, the DSi shop, the Wi-Fi connection pay and play. I don't know what that is, but that will still
Those are the ones with the red logos, the ones where it actually costs money to play them online.
Oh, right.
There's nothing in the US, as far as I know, that does that. But in Japan, they have at least one game that does that. I forget what it is.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
Mm.
And what else? The Wii Shop channel and YouTube. So, yeah. So you can pretty much stop playing online with your DS or your Wii if you haven't already. Maybe that's why Nintendo's shutting them down. Maybe the usage just isn't there anymore. So
Sure.
May 20th, we'll pour one out for our fallen bits of internet stuff that are going to be unplugged and erased and sent to that great multiplayer console graveyard in the sky. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but they're going to be it's going to be a sad day, actually. But I remember having how much fun I had playing Mario Kart online for the first little bit before people figured out how to snake, and then I just stopped playing it altogether.
Yes.
Fun. All right, moving on. This was a huge story. Everywhere, absolutely everywhere. That is like from iOS gaming news blogs, from Polygon. This is the article that I'm linking to. Is Polygon wrote about it. Every major gaming news site wrote about it, and I don't even know why this is news. So Nintendo, they had some financial issues, and they admitted to it. And one of the things that people were calling for at the shareholders meeting was basically that we want you to make iOS games. We want you to make mobile stuff. Nintendo said, yeah, we're gonna look at mobile, but we're not gonna be releasing games there. We're gonna be doing other things. So that kind of stopped it. But earlier this week, one of Nintendo's major investors, it's a high-profile hedge fund manager in Asia. His name is Seth Fisher. He's basically saying that he wants Nintendo to make iOS games, and he wants he wants them to become more profitable by creating games that are based on in-app purchases. Things like this is a quote from his letter to Nintendo. Just think of paying 99 cents just to get Mario to jump a little higher. He wants things like that. Nintendo needs to embrace this thematic change in consumer demand, behavior, and expectations to stay relevant. So he wrote this article saying, we want you to make games, and Nintendo won't. It doesn't matter how big of a hedge fund manager you are.
Yeah.
You don't have a controlling stake in the company, so you're not going to make this decision for Nintendo. But over the next few years, I'm sure things like this will start to happen. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? This isn't even a story. This is just, it's like when that idiot was basically telling Apple to buy back stock. I can't remember what that guy's name was. That old dude that has lots of money. So I guess he's not that much of an idiot because he has a lot of money. But he's basically demanding them to do something. And it's just like, well, you're just a guy that bought a lot of stock. And sure, you have some say in how the company moves forwards. But you're not going to change the way Nintendo works just because you send in a crazy letter. And saying that people want to pay 99 cents to get Mario to jump a little higher. Because don't you, Steven? Don't you want to have a Mario with a little different shade red of a hat that makes him jump just like 5 pixels higher? Wouldn't that be great for you?
That would be an amazing way to drive the brand directly into the right into the dirt.
Yeah, I know, right? That would just be
that
would be
the backlash against Nintendo for even just for making that option would just be unbelievable.
Totally.
The harm it would do to a company that is already like struggling a little bit in the market.
Yeah.
It would be terrible. It would be terrible.
I don't see this happening, but yeah. Anyway, I thought we'd talk about it a little bit just because it was everywhere. You couldn't I couldn't open my RSS reader without seeing 12 articles about shareholder urging Nintendo to develop for mobile platforms. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I could go buy one share of Nintendo stock, and I could make demands of Nintendo as well because I'm a shareholder. They're not going to listen to me, but I could do that as well. And I don't know what's going to happen. This hedge fund manager gets pissed and then sells all their stock. Well, other people are going to buy it, and it'll be business as usual for Nintendo.
Yep.
I don't see this. I basically in-app purchases for a Mario game to make him have more powers would be the last time I play a Mario game. If that happens, that's it. I'm done. I play enough garbage on iOS that I hate because of all the in-app purchase stuff. I just don't see that happening in my Nintendo games. And if it does, I will stop playing those Nintendo games. So anyway, I said we'd talk about it. We did. I think it's ridiculous, and the internet should be ashamed of themselves for giving this guy some time and stuff, because that totally didn't even need to be talked about.
Right.
All right, moving on. Did you know that Nintendo doesn't really like Waluigi at all, Steven?
Yes, I knew that.
He's kind of the redheaded stepchild. Except
That's why they put him in purple. That is, purple is the Japanese symbolic color of failure.
You are basically breaking up to the point where I can't understand a word you're saying. So I'm going to assume that you said yes, and we will move on. Basically, we had an article that came out, or actually a tweet that came out from Sakurai, who every day posts a screenshot of a Super Smash Brothers thing. Today was Waluigi. And the text, which is really funny, pick of the day, once again, Waluigi's assist trophy joins the collection, which also means he's not a playable character. Just because you try hard doesn't mean you'll make it into battle. And I saw that and I had to laugh. It's like, just because you're a trier doesn't mean anything good is going to come out of your life, Waluigi. I don't know.
A for effort, Waluigi.
Exactly. I found that humorous. So I wanted to include it anyway.
Yeah.
So are you bummed, Steven? Is Waluigi? Are you closeted Waluigi fan? He's your favorite character of all the characters on Nintendo platforms?
No, I hate him.
Yeah, I do too. I hate his laugh.
I actually bought a few thousand shares of Nintendo stock and told them that I demand that they put Waluigi in the game only as an assist trophy.
Yeah.
And not as a playable character.
And it's an assist trophy that does nothing.
Listen.
An assist trophy that does nothing, but you could actually punch that assist trophy repeatedly in the face.
Right. And for 99 cents, that assist trophy jumps a little bit higher. They thought that last part was an idiot idea.
Yeah.
So they didn't do that.
No,
but the rest of it, they listened to.
Well, it does work. So you should buy more stock and make more demands of Nintendo.
Sure. If I buy more stock, maybe they will let me the 99-cent assist trophies.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah, that's what the NFC and the Wii U controller's for, so you can just tap your credit card on it to make those purchases.
Take the 99 cents right away. It sounds very secure to me.
It does. Totally. Kids won't abuse that at all.
Right.
Yep. All right, moving on. A couple quick notes before we end up the show. Renegade Kid, Jules Watcham posted a tweet today or yesterday. It was today, actually, that they are actually rewriting the Renegade engine again. So this will be the second rewrite of this engine because they want Moon Chronicles to run at a full 60 frames a second while 3D is turned on. So they want it to run at 120 frames a second because it takes twice as many frames to do the 3D effect on the 3DS. If you didn't already think this game was going to look good, Steven, this is going to make it look even better.
Yeah, smooth. Sounds pretty smooth to me.
I'm really excited for this. I don't know if you are, but I am so excited about replaying this game.
Yeah, I'm. It could be good.
Yeah,
I loved Moon. I thought Moon was a great game. It's just I don't. It remains to be seen if they're adding enough to it to really warrant playing through it again.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. All the remakes that come out. I mean, they're not really necessary if you've already played the first game, but they do look better and they do play better.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of looking forward to this one because I want to play Moon again in the higher resolution in 3D. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, moving on. Nintendo Force magazine. That is the spiritual successor to Nintendo Power. That came together from a bunch of community people. They've just finished their year one, which was 7 issues. The first one was kind of a, hey, would anybody be interested for this? And then they did 6 issues that came out one every 2 months. If you paid for them to ship it to you, they shipped it to you. If you bought the digital version, you could download it on your iPad or Android tablet. Well, they did a Kickstarter. They're actually currently doing a Kickstarter for season 2 of Nintendo Force magazine. They wanted to raise $49,000 to basically fund the printing of the 6 more issues of for season 2 or year 2. They've met that goal. They're currently sitting at $52,174, and they have 14 days to go, which is pretty darn cool. But today they came out with something new that is actually kind of nostalgic to me. When I first subscribed to Nintendo Power, I had a subscription. I think I had a subscription, and then I re-upped again mid-subscription because there was a time where if you signed up for a new subscription to Nintendo Power, you got a copy of a Nintendo game. You got what was it, Dragon Warrior, the first Dragon Warrior for NES, right?
Yep.
And I wanted that, and I didn't even have an NES at the time, but I wanted that game, so I subscribed and I got that game, and then I eventually played it when I got an NES. Nintendo Force has just added 3 new pledge tiers to their Kickstarter. So if you want to get a copy of Tadpole Treble, Treasure Knots, or Shovel Knight, they have tiers for you for that. So for $40, it'll get you a full annual subscription of both digital and physical. So they'll send you copies of all 6 episodes and also give you codes that you can punch into the iOS app to get digital versions of that magazine. And you'll get a copy of Tadpole Treble, which is an upcoming game for the Wii U eShop. If you do $45, you can get a copy of Treasure Knots, which is a Renegade Kid game that is coming for the 3DS. So you can get the same thing, get digital and physical, plus that game for $45. And then option 3 is Shovel Knight, and I believe that one is also $45 as well. So if you wanted to get a copy of Shovel Knight, you could do that as well. But it's $50 actually. It's $5 more expensive, and you can get your copy of Shovel Knight and then the physical copy and the digital as well. So this kind of brought back some memories way back in the day when I used to play my old NES games, and I once subscribed to a little magazine called Nintendo Power and got any Nintendo game in the mail that I could not play on any system. But I read the hell out of that manual, let me tell you. So yeah, I thought I'd mention it here just so everybody knows that Nintendo Force is a thing, and it is coming into its 2nd season, and it's a really great magazine if you're into reading gaming magazines still. This one definitely brings back a lot of the Nintendo Power feels from way back in the day.
That's a very cool idea. I like that. It's actually has me really tempted to order.
yeah. I bought I got the digital version because I didn't really want the physical magazines anymore, because my last 5 magazines I didn't even open them. I just got the PDF that they send me and I read the PDF and that's it. So they're still sitting in cellophane. So I don't need the physical magazine anymore, but I still want to read the magazine every month. So I'm getting the digital version, but I'm like really, really tempted to get like the Treasure Knots one, for example. And I almost upped my Kickstarter, except I read the fact that it cost me an extra $20 for being Canadian to get it shipped to me. So it's like, yeah, I don't really want to pay $65 for a subscription to a magazine and a game. So I'll just keep it at the $15 for digital, and then I'll buy Treasure Knots when it comes out or whatever. I will do it that way instead, which is unfortunate for us Canadians. We get shafted on shipping all the time. It's really kind of sucks. All right. Last but not least, Nintendo, or I guess Netflix, announced in partnership with Nintendo that the first 2 seasons of Pokemon have hit Netflix along with 2 movies. So we were talking prior to getting started, and Steven, you made a good point. This is some of the first fruit of Nintendo wanting to partner with other companies that they were trumpeting at their shareholders meeting. This looks like this might be some of the first fruits from that effort to kind of partner with other companies that in a way that makes sense to Nintendo.
Yeah, they were talking about their, in anything that is a win-win deal. And then almost immediately we see this kind of a thing pop out, and this makes sense. I mean, it's Nintendo is not selling streaming access to its shows, so this is a way. And they put it on Netflix. They could put it on. It'd be cool for them to put it on other services too, like Amazon Prime and stuff like that. I mean, this is interesting. I mean, I could set this up here. I could let my daughter watch it now. So
yeah.
that's cool. I'd like to see it. I'd rather see it on Amazon Prime than Netflix, but.
Exactly. But yeah, it's pretty decent. I'm super excited for this. My kids watched a chunk of the first season of Pokemon with me when I started getting into playing Pokemon X, and they loved it. They loved the hell out of it. Now they know all the Pokemon names from playing the game, and my daughter runs around the house saying Clefairy, 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 because she's taking a liking to that one. And I'm like, yay! I'm glad I watched Pokemon with you, little girl. But yeah, I think we might go back and watch some more of these now that they're on Netflix. Just makes it super easy to do that. So I don't have to do any sort of weird like proxy server thing to get around my being in Canada and you having to be in the US to watch this stuff. Now I can just watch it on Canadian Netflix and be happy without having to do any workarounds. So for everybody out there that can't get it off of Hulu or whatever, the first couple seasons are going to be on Netflix on March 1st. So watch for it then. And hopefully this allows Nintendo to make a big stack of cash and get them out of the big hole that they're in because of the Wii U not selling as well as they would have liked it to sell.
It's a very good idea. I'd like to see other Nintendo shows show up on there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'd love to see like the original Nintendo cartoon, like Captain N, the Game Master. Even though I had the DVDs, that would be kind of cool to go in, and Super Mario and Super Mario 3 and all the various
Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Super Mario Brothers Super Show would be great. Like all of those really horrible Nintendo cartoons, which were just so good to watch. I'd love to see all those. I know some of them are available on Netflix US, but they're not on Netflix Canada. I'd love to see a lot of that stuff come to the Canadian version of Netflix. But hopefully this, like I said, gets Nintendo a big stack of cash and they can start telling their loud shareholders that want them to make mobile games to shut the hell up.
It's a good idea.
Should be great. Awesome. Well, that's going to about do it for this episode of the Nintendo Pulse podcast. Steven, thanks for joining me yet again for another episode, another great episode.
This was fun. We should do this. We should do this again.
We should. How about next week?
Okay.
Okay. Same Nintendo time, same Nintendo channel.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry I said that. All right. We want to hear from you. Head on over to vgpodcast.com and let us know what you think of the show. Email us at vgpodcast@gmail.com or call our voicemail line, cherry code 505 VG Podcasts. We also have a forum if you want to come and chat with the hosts and other listeners of the shows on the VG Podcast Network. That is vgpodcast.com/forums. And that'll about do it. So yeah, we'll talk to you guys in about a week's time. I guess Steven and I have decided we're gonna do this again next week. So tune in next week for yet another Nintendo Pulse.
For at least one more show.
Exactly. This is at least the penultimate show.
Yes.
We're not sure. You sure yet? Oh, what was that? Why did that end? That's really weird.
Because we ran out of lives. It's just like the real Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yeah, I died and had to continue. That's what it is.
Had to continue. Start again.
Yikes. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Take it easy.